Hello, I'm Peter C. Hayward. This is Let's Play EcoQuest. I've just discovered the Oracle. How do I get back into it? I have to use... What? What's happening? Play. Yeah. I use the trident. One interesting thing I found... One interesting thing that they've done in this game is by making the kid or whoever's playing select the answer, like, you know, who is dooming us all, the kid has to select human. So it's not the game telling us that humans are bad, it's us telling the game that humans are bad, which is really interesting. Because people are more likely to believe something if they're telling it to you. For instance, Scott Adams, who writes the comic Dilbert, has a very interesting blog, which I really recommend that you read. I'll put a link in the bottom bar. He said that if you get someone to write an essay about an opinion that is directly opposite to themselves, apparently they did this study where they got a whole heap of people, they paid them to write an essay with an opinion that they didn't agree with, then several months later they recontacted these people and asked questions about this, and they found that almost everyone who had participated had the opinion that they'd written in their essay now. So the act of writing, of trying to convince someone else of something that you don't believe, actually can change your opinion. And I don't know the link to that study or anything like that, but I thought that was an absolutely fascinating idea. And it made high school debating suddenly a lot more interesting, because if you're getting people to debate big corporations should be allowed to do whatever they want, then if this study is correct, then people are going to believe that big corporations should do whatever they want. Similarly, in this game, because they're getting the child to say humans, is the answer man? The riddle have you answered true, a vision will I grant to you. Because they're getting the kid to say humans are evil and they're causing destruction and pollution, all this stuff, they're more likely to believe it. So it's a very, very clever way of educating, I suppose, or you could say brainwashing. I don't think it's arguably brainwashing, but it's for a good cause. That's not a good moral stance. Yeah, it's brainwashing, but it's on our side, so it's okay. It's essentially... It's a very clever way of doing it, that's what I'm trying to say. What's my vision? Once there was a great whale king, whose tail kept off all poisonous things. Like under glass we lived so free. Like under glass we lived so free. Oh, from. Like under glass we lived so free from all with which man kills the seas. See, what they've done here is imperfect rhymes. They've rhymed king with things and free with seas. I'm very critical of these rhymes. Here's the second you must master. From the picture choose an answer. Oh, that's a very imperfect rhyme. What glides like a bird but does not fly, lives and plays beneath an emerald sky, feels the hook's pains but cannot cry, has no voice to question why. It's fish. A riddle have you answered true, a vision will I grant to you. And so an innocent shall fall and become the stalker of us all. Mutated by a glowing breeze, man makes a murderer of the seas. Oh, these are creepy looking things. I bet one of them goes on to kill Steve Irwin. From the third and last to master, from the picture choose an answer. What reaches out to those in need, hears the crawl of those who bleed, never blindly takes in greed, is a friend in word and deed. I'm going to go with heart. Love. A mighty king was led astray, tricked and lured in two harm's way. With all his strength he cannot free himself from man's machinery. I like that rhyme. Our destiny now lies with he, foretold within the prophecy. The prophecy says a child of man might help save Illyria. Could that be me? The oracle says no. Your answers show that you can see the carelessness that haunts the seas, but the citizens must give you their trust. To alone win them you must. Whoa. This sign of trust bring back to me, and you shall have the prophecy. So I have to convince all of the fishies that I'm a good guy. I was reading the history of Sierra today. It was really interesting stuff. Sierra was the first game to have... Sierra created the first game with colour, I believe, and the first game with sound effects, the first CD game, and the first game with voice acting. Like, they were these real pioneers in everything. It's really interesting. I was thinking maybe I could use that dolphin card that I have to win their trust, but no, they've taken it away from me. Okay, can I go this way? Oh, hello, Delphinius. You met the Oracle, huh? She said I should find a sign of trust. Talk to the mayor and the guardian of the greens. Somewhere indoors, okay. I'm going to stop reading everything he says and talk about things that aren't just blindly repeating what you see on screen. Okay, I can't go that way. I was watching through my last few videos, and I was talking a lot about feminism and the fact that females are expected to play male characters, but male aren't expected to play female characters. And this is about, oh, hello. I'll pick up this rubbish and read the puns. And one of the issues here is that it's male by default. We're expected to play males because that's the default gender. And this doesn't just apply to video games. Broccoli. If you just draw a stick figure, if you've got a pen and paper nearby, just literally draw a circle and the 4 lines that you require to do a stick figure. Snatches the purse. That's not a pun. Is that a pun? I'm missing the pun if it is. Draw a stick figure and look at it. Now, by default, we assume that's a male stick figure, and this is exemplified in comics like XKCD, which I'll link to, and a comic I used to write called Stickies, which I actually wrote before I even found XKCD, but it's similar in minimalist art style. Oh, that's right. These are cobblestones, and that's a plank of wood. I always thought you had to throw out that plank of wood. Did I get any points then? I don't think I got any points. Is there more rubbish I'm missing? I can't see any. Maybe this is where I used my magic coral fluid. The whale is salvageable. Haha. Yeah, so by default, a stick figure is male, and we have to add a skirt or something like that. I talked about Pac-Man in an earlier game. Pac-Man is male. He only becomes female when we add a bow and lipstick. So in our society, the default gender is male, and that's just a really interesting thing about feminism. I'm more interested in feminism not in terms of statistics and stuff like that, but more in representation in media and interpretation. So I call myself a feminist, but I don't go march and rally for equal marriage rights. That's not really feminism anymore. For equal wages and stuff like that, which I do think is important. It's just not something that particularly interests me. I'm more interested in portrayals of females in pop culture, which I find a really interesting topic. And a large part of that... Oh, I'm out of fertilizer fluid. Whoa, this is fast-acting stuff. A large part of the... Hey! I got a... Ow! What? I got bit by a guy. Fuck off. Now, in one of the early videos I looked at the gerbil and said, oh, that's a male. And that's an example of this kind of sexist attitude. Oh, right, you want me to talk to you, fine. Sexist attitude regarding... Magic one. It's not magic, it's science. Magic isn't real, says the boy who saw a flute, a statue play a harp a few seconds ago. Not a harp, you know what I mean. The corals shaped themselves to look like a whale. Healing potion, excellent. Oh, something else has happened. I'm intrigued. A shell that I need to clean up. Anyway, that's about my 10 minutes, so I'll save that here and see if I can quickly finish my thought. So, yeah, if you live in a society where by default things are male, and there are exceptions to that, cars are always female, boats are always female, but if we live in a society where things are by default male, females are never really going to be viewed as equal. They're always going to be... We have to add something. We have to change it. We have a male by default and we have to change it to get a female. So male is the dominant viewpoint. And that's something that I think we should fight, but I don't really know how to. But now you're aware of it, and that's the first step. Education is the first step. I'm Peter C. Hayward. This has been Let's Play EcoQuest. I'll see you next time.